Hello my friends, Chris back again, and today I'm going to be reviewing a movie called Creepshow 3 from 2006. Now listen guys, we all grew up watching the Creepshow films. The first Creepshow was excellent. We had the scariest one, in my opinion, of that little anthology was the creature in the box under the stairs. Terrifying stuff, man, especially for a little kid. But and then we got Creepshow 2 with Chief Woodenhead and that weird tarp blob thing in the lake. Those are excellent anthology horror films. I know a lot of people give Creepshow 2 some crap. They don't think it's as good as the first one, and maybe it's not. But for me, as a child, they both scared the hell out of me, and that's all that matters. So, jump ahead a couple decades, maybe a decade or so, and we get Creepshow 3. Now, Stephen King, George A. Romero, none of those guys have anything to do with Creepshow 3. And it shows. I don't even think anyone with any prominent horror background is even associated with this film. It is awful. And if they are associated with it, I wouldn't want my name on it, because it is about a half-a-star movie. There's terrible stories, okay? So I think we get 3 or 4 stories in this. The first story is about a girl who her dad has a new television remote similar to kind of like Stay Tuned, where they get sucked into the TV. But this one, when she changes the channels, or when her dad changes the channels, it mutates her in a way, or sends her to like an alternate universe. And that's kind of cool, but the execution is poor, very poor. And she mutates during all these, and then eventually she mutates into something, and it's a really kind of contrived story. It feels very forced. The story itself doesn't flow good. So that episode, or that segment is, that's our very first segment of the film, and it's not very good. And then we just get more segments of subpar horror film, right? Another memorable one, I guess, if you want to call it memorable, is a segment where it's called The Call Girl, and it's about a prostitute, of course. And she goes to this dude's house, but she's actually the psychopath, right? She goes and does something to the dude, but then something with the guy, something goes on with him, and, mayhem ensues. That's probably one of the better segments of the film. Aside from the movie just being a complete piece of trash, it did have decent practical effects. The practical effects were good. Like I said, the first segment has that girl mutating into stuff, and the transformation looks excellent. It's all practical. None of it is CGI. And that goes for the rest of the film. All the effects are, for the majority, practical, and they look decent. There's some that's kind of hokey and corny, but for the most part, look good. The acting doesn't exist. They just wing it, I guess. There's no real direction for the acting. I imagine no one sat there and said, okay, well, in this scene, this is your emotion, and this is what I want you to convey. It feels like they just pointed the camera at him and were like, action, and just let them go from there. They just let them improv, and you could tell it was terrible. I hated that. Again, direction is non-existent. You can tell that the directors were more concerned with special effects and gore than they were with actual content and consistency in the film. There's no real meat and potatoes to any of the stories. You don't feel connected to anybody. You don't feel connected to the stories. It's just a gore vehicle. And for some, that's fine. But for me, I like a good story. I like the gore to accentuate the story, to tell the story. You know what I mean? But they don't do that in this. And for that, this movie gets a half a star, because it's not worth the celluloid that it's printed on. So that's it for Creepshow 3. Don't waste your freaking time. It's not worth it. And if you guys want to get connected with more Cinema Dolce 56 content, go over to Facebook. Look us up with a little magnifying glass. Look for the group Cinema Dolce and join up with us, man. Can participate in some discussions and reviews and all that good stuff, man. We look forward to seeing y'all. And as always, if you watch them, I'll make them. God bless and peace out, my friends.